I know Representative Gary Click, one of really the best in the country, of course in the state of Ohio, but across the nation. And yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to have Representative Click and Klopfenstein for sponsor testimony.
But there's no more local control than Bob and Betty Buckeye.
Well, that explains why he keeps saying, well, that's not the way Representative Click does it.
I'm not supposed to get emotional, but I am.
Then we sat down with Click to discuss his bill and the controversy surrounding it.
And the chair would like to invite Representative Click to present testimony.
The question is, shall the bill pass? The chair recognizes Representative Click.
Welcome back to What's Clicking with State Representative Gary Click. I'm Janae Myers, his legislative aide. Today we will be talking about Keith's Law, HB 144. Representative, how did you get this idea?
Well, Janae, of course, we've talked about this before, but the idea came from a guy by the name of Keith, believe it or not. And Keith reached out to me on social media. We had a sit down at a Gilbert's coffee shop in Bellevue. And then we just had a conversation about what was important to him. And I decided to work on that. My prior aide before you, Ben, helped work on that. I think Naomi helped work on a little bit. And then you kind of got to cross the finish line on that bill. But we told Keith, and we told everyone, we had a prior episode with Brian Lorenz, who was my joint sponsor. And Brian talked about how personal it is for him because he has an adult son with autism, high functioning. And so that was important to him. And then we had that episode, but we said, as soon as it passes, as soon as it gets signed by the governor, we're going to jump in and do another episode. And the governor signed it a couple of weeks ago. And so we had that privilege to be there. Keith was able to be there. Keith was able to come with his family and be there for that signing. And so we interviewed Keith after that and had a conversation with Keith.
That sounds incredible. Since Keith is on the podcast, why don't we hop right in?
Okay, we are back in the studio again with my good friend Keith Jesse. And Keith, we just had a bill signed into law that was named after Keith's Law. It's House Bill 144, and it creates a special needs database, a voluntary special needs database for first responders. So, Keith, let's just go all the way back to the beginning. And you reached out to me, I think it might have been on Facebook, I'm not sure, but either Facebook or through my office, you reached out to me and we sat down at Gilbert's Coffee Shop in Bellevue, Ohio. So recount that situation. What happened there?
So I've been working on this, trying to get a law passed for that special needs registry for over 4 years. And you and I had caught up with each other. You were invited to a event in Bellevue, and you said something about reaching out to your office if I ever needed anything. And I was like, well, heck, this is maybe a good chance to
Right.
get this done and actually have somebody that wants to listen to this idea. And pretty soon I contacted your office, and Ben talked to you again, and we made a time to meet up at Gilbert's place. We sat there and until they pretty much were getting ready to push us out the door, talking about the bill and all the advantages that it would provide to the special needs community and to people with even mental illness and stuff like that. So we really hammered it out there. You took quite a bit of notes back with you to your office, and pretty soon, it was a few months later, Ben, your legislative aide at the time, Ben contacted me and said, we're moving forward with this. And so I was like, oh, finally somebody listened, and we are finally going to go forward with this. And every year down at the State House, they invite they have the DD Awareness Day there in the atrium, and for 4 years,
Right.
we would go in there, and it was like just like we were being blown off, and even our individuals were feeling that way and everything, and it was just nice to finally have something that I was passionate about finally happen, and it
Yeah.
took the right person to get it to and to listen to it. And I mean, you've been you've actually sat down and took the time, Rep Click,
Right.
to sit down and talk about it, and even put your personal experience
Well, yeah.
with it as well.
Well, that's great. That's great. And Ben was certainly a big help, and he's moved up to the speaker's office, and Janae has picked up where he left off. But
Yes.
you've been very open about this, and you have special needs yourself, and that's one reason why you're very passionate about this. And in fact, so first of all, talk about your special needs. And I know you've gotten this done a few places in a few counties, but it was kind of a patchwork assembly of these special needs databases. Maybe one county has one county doesn't have one, and doesn't help you if you're not in your own county. Talk about that for me, if you will.
Yeah. So myself, I have anxiety, and sometimes when I'm driving, you never know what could trigger a panic attack when you have high anxiety
Right.
and and things like that. It could be the simplest thing, a deer running out in front of you, or even you might have seen something on the side of the road that may trigger, um, a panic attack. Um, so
Mm,
one day I was driving, and I ended up getting pulled over because my panic attack was causing me not to um, drive in the proper manner. And when I got pulled over, they thought I had been drinking, and that wasn't the case
mm,
at all. And
right.
so therefore, if they would have had information about myself beforehand, they would have known, hey, he's just having a panic attack. Um, we don't need to go through this whole ordeal. And even
Right. Right.
myself
They
telling the
would have been
officer
able to
that
de-escalate.
de-escalate instead of going straight for the DUI approach, which I totally understand why they do that, as being
Right, of
a
course.
person
But
a
information
person
helps, right?
yeah, being a person with a background in a little bit of law enforcement. I kind of understood what was going on, and
Mm-hmm.
totally totally understood the mentality of the officer, which
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
that's one of the things with this
So,
bill being passed is that um, it's going to help officers have the better mindset going into these situations,
mm-hmm.
um, and first responders in general. When they're responding, it's going to be
Right.
tremendously a turnaround for them, so because they're going to be able to actually see what their individual may have going on prior to arriving. Um, I mean, in our
Well,
testimony,
let's just pause there. If we can. Yeah. So that's information is always helpful for an officer, and officers want that information as well.
oh yes,
And you, if I can just pause for a second, let's back up a little bit, because you're giving us a lot of great information. But you mentioned that you do some work with law enforcement as well, and I think this might be a good place to talk about your canine and how you use your canine with law enforcement. Can you describe that for us?
So I'm going on my 15th year of running my community safety programs throughout the state of Ohio. I cover all 88 counties. With that, any county board can call me. Um, all of what I do is on my own dime and my own time. I don't charge them at all. Um, I mean, these people get charged enough money for all that, but what I do is I go around and teach individuals um, about different safety topics, mostly scams and how to protect themselves, being in their own homes and when people are coming up, and just trying to help them be more proficient in their community and feel like they're a part of their community is the biggest thing. But
hmm
I have a
So you help DD people understand how to interact with first responders,
first
and then your
responders, yeah.
canine does. Tell us about that canine because that's special.
So yeah, so I have the only canine um, believed to be that is just dedicated to finding people with special needs or mental health issues. Um, we've had
Mm,
Canine Ian and myself have had numerous calls from all over the place here in Ohio. We get calls from places out of state asking if we could come. Um, I have to turn a lot down because there's just there's just no way I can cover it everywhere uh, when it's just me and Ian out there doing this special
hmm
kind of canine work.
And
Um,
what makes your canine different?
so canine Ian is first of all he's a British lab, and he is very more of a laid back canine. Um, and he goes up and he goes out and tracks, and then when he finds the individual, first of all he's way too friendly with everybody that he comes into contact when he's working. I mean he comes up there and comforts the individual rather than barking. He doesn't bark when he finds the individual. He usually comes back to me and tries to lead me there until we're till I catch up with them. And then he will stay there with the individual as well, and just cuddle up with them, just to make them feel
Hmm.
like they're safe, and know that help's on the way. But that is one thing that you don't see a lot of police canines do, because their dogs
hmm
are multi trained canines. They have
Right.
they're doing detection work and bite work and all that. And I mean, an individual that's lost uh, may become frightened by a police canine because they
Right.
have a lot of German Shepherds or um, um, Malleys that they use, and those dogs kind of resemble a wolf or a coyote more than they how a lab comes up with little floppy ears and
Right.
is sitting there
Yeah.
licking you to death. This dog comes up and he looks like he's gonna
Right.
eat you. So,
And
so
he's
that
not trained in drug detection or combat or anything like that.
nope, and he's totally tracking and trailing, and that's it. And I mean, he's 7 years
Yeah.
old. I've been trying to find out if I'm gonna go through the deal of going through getting another one trained the same way or not. But
Mm.
I mean, as valuable of a resource he is, I mean, I would love to. uh,
Right.
to do another canine just like Ian.
Right. And how often have you been out on the field and actually found someone with special needs that through this process?
We've been out there thousands of times, thousands of times. We've been called for
Wow.
different things. We just recently were over in Bellevue for a missing individual over there. Um, Unfortunately, the individual still hasn't been found, um, and all that. But K9 Ian did a very good job of trying to locate the individual. Just
Hmm.
sometimes.
But you've had several success stories as well, too,
Oh
right?
yes, I mean we've had most of our stories are successful. I mean, matter of minutes of Ian being let out
Mm,
to track. I mean, we time is the essence when it becomes an autistic person because any body of
wow.
water, they're that's that's just a
Right.
horrible
Right.
situation. And Ian has done at least three that I can remember of keeping them from being able to get to the water.
And that just kind of reminds me, we just passed another law from the House. It's headed to the Senate called, Joshua's Law for a
Yes,
special needs young man that went missing. And according to the law, the way it stands now, you cannot, the police could not file the report for 24 hours. But
yeah.
now, if there's a special needs individual, they can act on it immediately. And so
Yes.
we put these two bills together, and that's really going to help the special needs community.
Oh, by
So
far. I mean,
we got this all the way. Go ahead.
I just was reading Joshua's Law about Joshua's Law, and I am ecstatic that that went into effect because
You know.
that was one thing that needed to be done because it is a 24-hour wait, and there is no time to wait
Hmm.
when that's going on.
Right. Time is of the essence.
Yeah,
And I met Joshua's mom, and what a sweet lady. And of course, the sad story is that Joshua did not survive because it was not implemented right away. But she
correct.
turned her grief into activism, and this bill is being passed and passed out of the House unanimously, now headed to the Senate. And so these two, Keith's Law and Josh's Law, are going to just work together terrifically. So we got it all passed in the House and in the Senate. And then we got to go down, and you got to meet the governor and to be present when he signed the bill with your name into law. Your mom and dad were there with you. Tell me
Yes.
what that was like for you.
I did- I had I was just ecstatic that I got to be there, and not to even mention, but I was so glad that Representative Lorenz had Brennan
Yes.
there too. I mean, his mom and him as well gave powerful speeches in the House testimony that made people start crying, along with the
Right.
testimony from the retired officer from Lorraine as well. The I mean, there was not a dry eye leaving after the
You're
House.
right. You're right.
Uh,
What we might do on the podcast is once you and I are done, we might just play some of that testimony for our podcast listeners. I think that
yeah,
might be a good idea. They hear their testimonies too.
yeah, that'd be great because I mean, those everybody that has been supportive of this bill has been 100% dedicated to the bill, and it is just unbelievable how many people that this bill has affected. Because when I started it,
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was alone, and I
Right.
thought I was going to be making this march by myself, but it was the
Mm.
people are still coming out of the woodwork. It seems like uh, uh, they're like, oh, hey, congratulations about your bill. So and so
Yeah.
that I know is just waiting to sign up for it because they're it's going to give them
Right.
more independence.
Oh, and I love that, and I've had the same experience. People that you didn't even know had an interest in this bill were watching it, and I'll be at a meeting here, there, or somewhere else, and somebody will come up and say, "Hey, thank you for Keith's Law. Thank you for HB 144," and you know that either they and many special needs are kind of hidden. People, not everybody knows or is aware. They're some invisible sometimes. And that's why it's important that we have this legislation, but they either have their own special need or they know someone that has a special need, and they are just very eager to know that this bill passed and it's going to be helpful to them. And I think this is kind of the last thought in this is I think sometimes people think they can't make a difference, but here you are, just a regular, ordinary guy in Bellevue, Ohio, and you made a difference. Your name is in a law. And what would you tell someone if they have a special need or a desire, or if they've got a great idea? What would you encourage them to do?
Oh, I by far, I've actually already have told people if you ever have a need and all that, to reach out to your office, especially because, like I said, you're willing to sit down and talk with people. Um, I mean,
Hmm.
a lot of times it just seems like our politicians just are in there to do their agenda and not listen to the people around them. And you definitely have made that a point since you've been in office to sit down and listen to individuals from all, not even from your own uh, um, area. You've listened to people
Hmm.
from outside your area as well. I mean, the same day that we were doing our testimony, we had testimony about the garbage um, at the landfill down in
Hmm.
the Fostoria area, and let me tell you, it just takes somebody to listen, um,
Right.
to make things happen that can change people's lives for the better. I mean,
Right.
a lot of times it just you just feel like you're getting blown off when you're trying to make a difference in people's lives. And people were like, "Well, why don't you just run for uh for government?" And I'm like, because I want to help people so much that wouldn't have a big enough office to fit everybody in there to listen. Uh, so I mean, they. I mean, I'd have to have a little number thing outside my office to be able to listen
Right.
to everyone. So, but I mean,
Well, Keith, you have made a difference, and you've made a lot of difference for a lot of people. And I think the moral of the story is it doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, who you are. You can make a difference if you set your mind to it. Would you agree with that?
oh, by far. I mean, uh, like myself, I mean, I wear many different hats uh, in the community. I mean, I referee basketball. I work on a golf course. I work at Woodville PD. Um, and I do my own classes and search and rescue with my canine as well. So, I mean, I wear many different hats and try to make a difference every day and put people. My biggest motto is if people aren't smiling, then they're not enjoying my company.
Yeah.
So if I can put a smile on people's face, I'm going to do it.
Well, I want to congratulate you, Keith, because this would have never happened without you. You're the one that made it happen. I am happy that you let me join along and participate in this. But you were the driving force behind this legislation, and I want to congratulate you on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you to you and like you said, Ben and Janae, and the temporary in between Janae and Ben was Naomi. So
That's
she got
right.
she got to put a little bit of work into Keith's Law, and then also Representative Lorenz as well. I mean, uh, him having personal uh, uh, um,
Right.
with Henry, his
Yeah, his
son,
own son. Yeah. Yeah.
being special needs and having his own story to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a
Yeah.
big help, and
Yeah.
even Henry's friend Brennan and all the many people that we've had written testimony from and
Mm.
verbal testimony from. I mean, we
Right.
these are all people that deserve a big pat on their back as well, because
Boy, they do.
it takes it's not always just one person that
Mhm.
makes the difference. And sometimes there's other people, and I'm not one to take all the credit for anything. My name's just on my name's just on the bill, and I mean I'm proud of it and glad, but it doesn't change who I am. So
Well, I think you're totally right about that, Keith. Teamwork makes the dream work. So
oh,
we're
by
about
far,
out of time here on the podcast, but
yes.
I sure appreciate you joining me. Is there any last word you want to share with our audience before we call it a close for the day?
Yeah, just keep an eye out for when signups start with the new law, and we will we'll try to make sure that we make that a very necessity to get that word out to everyone when signups start
Absolutely.
happening. I'm sure Representative Click will be helping get the word out as well when the signups are happening. So, but the biggest thing is thank you to all of the representatives for voting, and then also all the senators and to Governor DeWine for signing it. Um, so it would make that it's just unbelievable what one little thing could do to change people's lives.
Well, thank you for joining me today, Keith. But more importantly, thank you for your activism, and thank you for working hard to get this law passed. God bless you. You have a great day, buddy.
Well, it was incredible to hear how HB 144 got its start from Keith himself. I'm sure, Representative, that you really enjoyed sitting down and talking with Keith about this. Do you have any
Well, I
closing
did.
thoughts?
Well, it was like a running a victory lap with Keith. You know, he was Keith, just a regular, ordinary guy, and he'd been trying for this for a long time until he and I sat down, and it was just so good to be able to be with Keith and have him be able to celebrate that moment, explain it in his own words why it's important to him, and how it helps so many other people. And I think I mentioned in the episode, in the interview with Keith, that there are so many people that have come up to me afterwards and they've said, thanks for HB 144, thanks for Keith's Law. And I said, oh, do you know someone? They're like, yeah. And sometimes it was even people themselves. And sometimes, people have these invisible issues that the average person wouldn't notice or wouldn't know. But in reality, in critical times, those things come out. And so, we've done a lot of good for a lot of people with Keith's Law. So I'm very, very happy about that.
Well, that's incredible. And I'm so thankful for this bill. And I think the other constituents are also thankful. But next week's episode, listeners, I believe it's going to be a Thanksgiving episode, which perfectly ties with the episode we just listened to. Representative, do you want to give us a little taste of what we will be hearing?
Yeah, I think what we're going to try to do next week is maybe do I'll be honest, I'm not even 100% sure. So it's in the works. It's the mystery episode. It'll be a little bit of Thanksgiving, but also a little bit of just maybe some highlights from. I think this is our 10th episode. So let's just go back and look and see what we've covered so far. This is brand new thing that we're doing. This is uncharted territory. We are not, as we've often said, this is not late breaking news. This is just simply us trying to give folks the inside look of what's going on at the State House. And so it's just talking about the things that we're covering, sometimes things that other people are covering. We just passed a bill out of the House, HB 268, that has to do with, no, was it 268? No, yeah, it's 268. Had to do with making sure that people can get their CQEs in a timely fashion, which is a certificate of qualified employment. And I'll be interviewing my colleague, Representative Humphrey, as a bipartisan bill passed unanimously. And I'll be getting with her and talking about that real soon. But that's not going to be next week. So stay tuned. And I hope everyone enjoys their Thanksgiving that's coming up, and enjoy your time with family over this holiday season as we go from Thanksgiving into Christmas. We celebrate the birth of our Savior. And this is really a time to be grateful and to be thankful.
You've been listening to What's Clickin', the official podcast of State Representative Gary Click, covering Ohio's 88th House District. That includes Seneca and Sandusky counties in Northwest Ohio. I'm Janae Myers, his legislative aide. If you would like to reach out to us, you can send us an email at rep88, that's REP88, at ohiohouse.gov, or you can give us a call at 614-466-1374. Thanks again for joining us for What's Clickin' with State Representative Gary Click. We'll be back again soon to let you know what's clickin' in Ohio.